copy. So I'm going to start this install. You know how to install operating systems. This would already come with Jim Flim Flam's computer. Okay. This would already come installed. But I'm going to take this opportunity as this installs to show you my lab here at home. And hopefully we don't get another glitch here or technical hiccup. But we're gonna look at this because I think that there's a physical issue, and this is something I could have fixed before the stream started, but I figured it wasn't gonna be an issue. I took that risk, so we're gonna look into this. So I'm gonna use my iPad to show you around, and so there's a website called OBS Ninja. That you can use any mobile device to connect to, okay? So when you're using OBS Ninja, you got to make sure that you give, at least momentarily, you got to give the browser you're using permission to your phone, or I'm sorry, permission to your phone's camera or your mobile device's camera. So right now I'm going through the settings in my iPad, and I'm gonna find Chrome permissions and allow the camera. So let's do this.
How do you want to do that?
Just want to make sure you can see. So this is the cool thing. I've got the stream going, and I should be able to use Twitch to paste this URL in here. Feel free to go to this URL or just look at my screen. You should see the stream. You see that? How was that? That might be a little laggy, because now we got a couple things streaming on my network. So you see, along with one of my son's socks there and his Lego, you can see my server, which is the router sitting on top of. That's what's running VMware. And then I can stand up so I could still talk to y'all.
Is it Thursday yet?
So this is kind of a unique setup, right? It's not the cleanest, but because I'm in my kitchen, that's where my lab is. But I run cables from a USB NIC right here on my desk to this really pocket switch or desktop switch powered in the wall there. And then I have like a 100-foot Ethernet cable that runs down towards my router. But what I think's happening, because when my connection drops, I'm noticing it's not just, I can't blame it on Twitch. I'm gonna blame it on myself, because if you look up there, you know that network icon in Windows? I could show you the top too. Sorry, I'm sure you don't want to look at my leg. So this network icon here in Windows, it changed to the little globe that indicates that you're not connecting, right? Yeah, it is a mess. But we compromised. So I will say that I do have plans to move over to the garage out back here, which is going to be a lot more space. But this is just sitting here in the kitchen. So I'll give you kind of like a overview from over there, but you won't be able to hear me. You shouldn't be able to, at least. It sounds like audio's coming through OBS Ninja too. So hold on one second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna show you. So there's that. Gives me an excuse to use OBS Ninja a little bit more. I gotta get better with it. Yeah, she is. Yeah, I'm fortunate and blessed to have such a great wife, supportive wife. Shout out to Truzetto for introducing me to that tool. Because that tool is really useful. I could see a lot of good use cases for that. So you're not going to be able to see that anymore. Looks like Windows 10's finishing for us. But we've probably hit 2 hours already. I think the issue that we were having is the cable that I have connected from my laptop's NIC to the switch. It's missing a clip on the RJ45 connector on one of the ends. So I don't know if it's secured in there. So that might be why the connection's dropping. Because I haven't had that issue, leading up to today. So I saw that as I connected it, and I was like, I've got 15 minutes. I could go out to the garage and get another cable, or I could just see what happens. And sure enough, something bad did. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to combine those videos and edit out those hiccups. But it looks like it's going to be different recordings because of that, which is unfortunate. I wish it was just one long one. Right. Yeah. So that's a good point. Truzetto says if you're using your USB to Ethernet adapter, your USB bus may be verificating dropping speed from PCIe lanes being taxed. Yeah, it could be that. The thing is, though, I haven't had this issue before. That's the thing, is before tonight, I have never seen that. I've never seen the NIC. You can obviously tell the NIC. There's an issue with the NIC because the icon changes in here in Windows. It wasn't Twitch, because if it was Twitch, then I wouldn't see that icon change. So not sure what happened. Ideally I wouldn't do it on this laptop, and I'm working on getting the funds and everything to get a desktop that can run streams well. I don't need anything super awesome. I've actually been eyeing, and I'm not an Apple fanboy. Again, I like to stay in the middle with these tech companies, but I'm thinking about getting one of those Mac Minis. But who knows? Let me know your suggestions out there if for streaming and hardware. I'm gonna look into it. I've looked at some Intel NUC too, something powerful but takes up a low takes up a low fan boiler, right? Takes up a low bit of space on my desktop here. But yeah, because I'd like to do more hardware. Because when I was upstairs at my essentially my desktop was empty, and I could have everything up top. I could do hardware stuff and take apart computers and show that on stream. But yeah, so what do you say next boot camp day, next Sys Admin Camp, we on Thursday at 9, we join this Windows 10 system to the domain. I show you how to move it to a different OU, and we do some group policy stuff. That's what I would like to do. See, so Truzetto's talking about building a man cave. I'm trying to build a studio, something I can invite people over to. We could talk about stuff on live stream and do labs. Like, I want to build a lab in my garage so I could, instead of it being a green screen, because I like the green screen, don't get me wrong, it's cool and all, but I like having cameras facing a real environment better, because if we're using switches and stuff, I could show that. I could have different camera angles, but the only issue with that is we don't own this place that I'm living in. So we can't do much construction in the garage, in other words. So, I think I've got the internet connection figured out, how I'm going to get a good physical connection out to the garage. But it's just, I got it now. It's about cleaning the garage completely. So I want to have an empty slate and just design it from there, and do install stuff that doesn't require construction. So anything that's mobile, anything that can be mounted but doesn't have to involve painting the walls or anything, or I don't know. I'm still coming up with ideas, so I would be open to hearing them. I've been talking about making a video of the garage for a few days now, but our garage is kind of messy. So I want to wait until the garage is completely clean. So we're gonna probably work on that tomorrow, cleaning it out to where we can get to the point where it's a blank slate. I'll take pictures and show videos of what we could do, and I would like to hear your input too, because maybe you all could have some say in what the studio looks like in the future. What are some things you want to learn? What are some things we could put in there? I'm talking not just networking stuff, but what about some robotics, connecting robots, IoT, the drones, so who knows? There's a lot of things we could do. But yeah, so this is Sys Admin Camp. This was the second meeting. I gotta say, I appreciate everybody's input and everybody for coming out. I apologize for the technical drops you've been seeing a little bit. So thank you for coming out in this second meeting, and I hope to see all of you on Thursday. You don't have to come. Your time is your time, but just know you're welcome. It would be fun to have you, as it always is. Come join in on the learning and add to it. But yeah, you have a good night. I'm not